Hey, thanks for checking out my video on my Seiko Sumo. Um, Pardon me for a second. This is I believe it is a first or second gen. I think it might be a second gen. It's got the 6R15 in it, so it could be between one and two. I'm not too familiar with I guess the models and all that. I don't really get much into that. The reason why I'm posting this is I've done a fair amount of modification to this watch, from the ceramic bezel insert to sapphire crystal to a different handset. It's kind of it kind of sucks because you can see what kind of handset I have on here somewhat, but it's kind of like they're kind of like the monster hands. So I really I didn't like the factory hands they came on this watch because they kind of looked phallic to me. So I thought, all right, I'm going to send this watch out because I couldn't get the bezel off. Usually I do my own bezel swaps and all that. But with this watch, I had to send it to a watchmaker, and they put the bezel insert on for me. And they also put a set of hands that I had for that movement. They were kind of like 50 fathoms kind of hands, but they never really seemed to suit the watch because this watch has a pretty good sized face on it. I don't know what the dimensions are. I think it's either 44 or 43. I'm not exactly sure where it is. I know it's well over 41. I know that. And I do apologize. I don't have any specs or anything like that. But if you know the Sumo, then you know that it's a pretty good sized watch. What else can I say about this? It's really just a pretty awesome watch. So I'll tell you where I did get some parts. So basically all the parts to do the upgrade on this watch were had from DLW. That includes the bezel insert, this sapphire crystal, which is a blue AR. And what's really cool about this is that, the watch, the face itself is blue. I later on, when I ordered the crystal, I did order a custom. It has like a little blue tip on it for the second hand, and again, I really like the way that this watch came out. This watch is probably one of my favorite Seikos, and I think I paid maybe $700 for it when I got it, and it was the second Seiko that I ever bought. The strap on it is a strap code Super Engineer, and that's pretty awesome. Screw in links, 20. It's a 20. This watch is crazy because it's a good size watch, and it has 20 millimeter lugs, which I never understood. But Seiko always had that really skill of taking a good, like a big watch dial, and making it wear much smaller, just by what they do with the lugs here. So what I liked about the Super Engineer is that it didn't taper. It just went 20 straight down. I think this watch should have had a 22, but maybe that, I'm not the designer, but if I could change anything about the watch, that's the only thing that I would probably change on it. But other than that, man, this is a great watch. If you don't have a Sumo in your collection, you've got to get one. They recently announced that they're coming out with, I guess it's a King Sumo that has the sapphire, and it has the ceramic bezel insert that everybody seems to miss on these watches. I don't think the Hardlex was that bad, actually, but I thought, well, what the hell, I got to change the hands. I want to change the hands on it. I might as well just do the crystal too while I'm at it. And I sent it to a watchmaker. He did it, and it wasn't really that expensive. It was like $50, I think, for everything, for the labor to do it. But he everything lines up great. Chapter ring lines up awesome. The bezel insert lines up awesome. There's no quality control issues. There never was any quality control issues with this watch. This watch is pretty much good to go out of the box. It did come with an aluminum bezel insert, which it kind of cheapened the watch. Like, it didn't make it. Hey, look, no offense if you have that bezel insert on your watch and you like it. That's cool. I just thought it cheapened the look of the watch. Like, it didn't give it an expensive look. This watch, really, if you wear it out, people are like, oh, that's a really cool watch. What kind of watch is that? You get a lot of compliments on it, and It's got the 6R15, so it doesn't have the 6R35 movement that they went to in the 3rd gen, but it's still a pretty good movement. Again, if you're looking for accuracy, you probably shouldn't be looking at a mechanical watch anyway. I don't really know what the allure to mechanical watches are. Maybe it's just because it's something old-fashioned. It's a little machine. I don't know how. I don't know how you. I don't know what people's thoughts are on it, but I just love me some mechanical watches, and this one is definitely one of my favorites, and it came out great. So I just wanted to share it. Pretty cool watch. I'm a big fan of the Sumo. I only have one. This is the only one I have. I think if I get another one, maybe I will just get the King Sumo. See how that comes out. But again, like, you could buy a regular Sumo and you can do all these things. You could get all these parts. The only thing that I don't know right now is the loom on the hands. I don't know. Right now it's daytime in my house, in the house and everything. I don't feel like I can give you a good representation of it. I think they're okay. Pretty sure it's not Lumibrite. These might be Seiko hands. I don't know. Like I said, I got it from DLW. DLW sells some really cool. They sell some nice parts. They really do, and they sell quality stuff. Again, this bezel inserts from them. All the stuff that you see here, except for the strap. Strap is from Strap Code. It's a Miltat, but everything else to do what I did on this, and I'm still, I'm still under a G, even with screwing up and buying the wrong handset that I didn't like. I'll keep those hands for something else, but I'm not going to throw them away. But I don't know if I have them here to look at. Let's see. I got this. No. I don't want to open this up. It's not worth it. Just trust me on it. I think that the handset that I had on here, the hands were very thin, and it just didn't do the watch any justice. What else can I say about this watch? Okay, so if you have a smaller than 7 3/4 inch wrist, you're probably going to think that this watch is going to be too big for you. It's not in Invicta territory, but it's definitely it's a larger watch. It's one of the, I think it might be the largest watch in my collection, actually. Yeah, so by comparison, like, this is my Tudor I'm working on right now. This is my Tudor 41. Honestly, Seiko does some magic, because this is a 41, and that is definitely bigger than a 41. I would say 43. I don't know why I keep thinking 43. I don't know if I've seen that somewhere. That's it, man. I don't know. If you have any comments or questions, just put them down in the comment line or whatever. Good, bad, or indifferent. But I think this is a pretty cool watch. I love it, man. I was excited to get it back. I just got it back today, and I was like really psyched to get it. It's like having a new watch all over again. Yeah, just changing the bezel insert and a few things that were done to. Actually, there's a lot of stuff done to this watch, but just doing those things made it like it just breathed new life into the watch. And actually, it makes the watch. It brings the watch into a different level. So some people they'll ask you the question, hey, why would I want to go and modify my watch from original? It's going to take away from the value. I mean, come on, man. Seriously, I don't believe that this watch is going to be worth anything big time in the future. I could be wrong about that, but it's still, it's like having a car and putting a nice set of wheels on it, or doing something aesthetic to your car that separates it from everything else. And I feel like there's a chance that nobody else would have this combination. And that's what I liked about it. Mixing and matching hands with the blue tip on the hands, and the I don't know. Just, again, you're gonna really, you could do a lot worse. Okay, with with what you decide to do with if you decide to do a little modding. Um, I know my limits on stuff, so I tend to I can take bezels off, remove bezels, but I can't change handsets and stuff. And I have a lot of respect for anybody that's able to do that. There is a large community out there that can watch lovers and watch collectors and that know how to basically take a watch apart. And this watch was pressure tested and everything. Although I'll never take it in the water. I don't take any of my watches in the water. I don't get them wet. I keep them clean. And I got a beater watch, which is my SKX, which is also a mod. It's not even a real SKX, but well, for the sake of cutting this short, thanks for watching. It is a pleasure to do this. I got some other Seikos in my box that I might do like a state of the collection where I just bring them all out and talk about them. This is definitely one of them. And really, I'm sorry, I had to do it. I had to do this because this is just I love me some Sumo, man. I love me some Seiko. You gotta love Seiko. Seriously, man. Seiko is just, they may have gone up in price and all that, but when you consider still, even in inflationary times, what you get for the money, Seiko still brings it. And I think they're hard to touch. I mean, I know that Citizen's kind of like making some noise right now, but I feel like Citizen's kind of been a quirky, J.C. Penney department store watch for a long time, and I feel like to me, I have a couple Citizens, and no offense to anybody who has a Citizen and loves it, I'm sorry, man, I just don't see it. I don't see them even being close to Seiko, and some people maybe want to call me out on that. Fine, bring it, man. Bring your comments. I don't care. But I have both. I have watches from both. In fact, here's one of my. This is my Eco Drive, which it's okay. It's a shit watch. It's a beater watch. I don't give this watch any love. It's all scratched up and everything. To me, that's just an everyday watch, a dick around watch. And this here, I find there's a collectability with it. There's I don't know. Just fit and finish, and quartz watches to me, like if you look at a lot of quartz watches, there really isn't a lot of love put in there. Like there's not a lot, even though, yes, all of these things are factory produced. They're all, a lot of them are produced, supposed to be by, robot, machine, whatever. But there's still a certain amount of human interaction with these things where I don't know if these things are entirely built by a robot, but I used to think, and I don't know if that's true or not, that there was a lot more human involvement in the manufacture of these things. Maybe there isn't anymore. Maybe it's all just robots, and I'm just deluding myself to thinking that. But all I know is that the fit and finish of mechanical watches, in my experience, has always been, with the exception of the Seiko Tuna. There's a high torque Tuna, high torque movement. That is a beast of a watch. I don't have one, but I'd love to have one in my collection. If I was gonna have a quartz watch, I think I'd probably go for that. Seiko being the one who basically brought quartz watches to the forefront and crippled the Swiss watch industry, hence the great what do they call that, the quartz crisis. But everything seems to be, I think automatics they still have their place, and maybe you can say the same thing for quartz, and you can say the same thing kinetic and solar, and screw the Apple Watch. I don't have one. I don't need one. I have a cell phone. I don't need to have that crap on my watch too. I don't really consider them a watch. I just consider them a device, a designed obsolescence that you're going to throw in the garbage. So to me, that's not a watch. Calling the Apple smart device a watch is that's blasphemy to me. I just don't get it. I just think that technology is it's great. It has its use, whatever. But I just think that the world just moves too fast. And maybe when you take the time and you stop and you think, wow, you can still obtain something like this. You can still get something like this. And this is on the low end, man, of the spectrum. This isn't you know, we're not talking about a Rolex or a Patek or anything like that. We're talking about something that's obtainable for the everyday Joe, and these things are out there, and the parts are out there, and anyway, thanks for listening to me ramble on my 15-minute video. And if you hung in there this long, I do appreciate it. And if you didn't, believe me, I understand. Anyway, take care, and see you next time.